Shalom and welcome to Questions and Answers with Rabbi Eric T. Today's question comes from Sam in Georgia, and Sam asked the question, should Gentiles keep Torah? Now, I want to start off by saying this is a really awkward question. Not to mock Sam or belittle him in any way, but because the question shouldn't be, should Gentiles keep Torah, but rather, what commandments in the Torah should Gentiles keep? For that matter, what commandments in the Torah should Jews keep? The answer to that question is every commandment that's applicable to you as who you are. In other words, in the Torah, there are commandments that are given to men. There are commandments given to women. There are commandments given to soldiers. There are commandments given to merchants. There are commandments given to priests. There's commandments only given to the high priest. There's commandments that are given to everybody. And so we have to determine which of those commandments are applicable to us today. Second, we need to realize and state once again, we are not saved or redeemed by keeping the Torah at all. We're saved by our faith in Messiah Yeshua and His sacrificial atonement and His offering for us. So our salvation isn't related to our observance of the commandments of Torah, but our lifestyle should be affected by our faith, which should lead us to keep all of the commandments that are applicable to us as an individual, whether you're Jewish or non-Jewish. The commandments given in Exodus 20, and I'm going to read them. It's first, I am the Lord your God who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Second, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Third, you shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain. Fourth, remember the Sabbath day, keep it holy. Fifth, honor your father and mother. Six, thou shalt not murder. Seven, thou shalt not commit adultery. 8, you shall not steal. 9, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. And 10, you shall not covet anything that belongs to thy neighbor. Now, understand these are the first 10 commandments that were spoken from the mountain. When they were spoken from the mountain, they were spoken to all of Israel that had come out of Egypt, as well as the mixed multitude that came with them. And all of that entire group, both Israelite and mixed multitude, said, all that you say, we will do. The truth is, there isn't a Bible teacher anywhere that believes that Gentiles shouldn't keep Torah. Matter of fact, if you ask them, should a Gentile commit adultery? Should a Gentile covet? Should a Gentile be an idolater? Should a Gentile steal or lie? They will all say, no, they should not do that. Well, all of those commandments are part of the Torah. So the distinction is, what commandment should a Gentile keep? Now, these commandments that I just read, these first 10, were spoken to all Israel, but for some reason there are teachers who believe that only 9 of them are applicable to everybody, but the 4th commandment, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy, is only applicable to those of Israel, those who are Jewish. I don't agree with this. I think we can discuss what it means to observe the Sabbath, what it means to keep the commandment about the Sabbath, but to say that 9 of the 10 commandments are for everybody and 1 of those 10 commandments is only for Jews seems to take out of context of what's happening at the mountain. Once again, I believe that whether you're Jewish or non-Jewish, we should adapt our lives because of our faith and because of our redemption to keep the commandments of God that were given to us. That's why Yeshua said, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments, and why Paul said in Romans chapter 3, do we nullify the Torah through faithfulness? May it never be. On the contrary, we uphold the Torah. Because of our faith, whether Jewish or non-Jewish, we should uphold the Torah. Now, how that looks to each of us individually will be different, remembering that many of the commandments given cannot be kept today because there's no temple, there's no priesthood, there's no sacrificial system. So we're dealing with the commandments that are applicable to us today and applicable to us as an individual. And yes, as believers, we should, whether Jewish or non-Jewish, try to keep every commandment that is applicable to us because we have been made holy by God, and holiness, by definition, means different or separate from the world. I hope that this question was answered to your satisfaction, Sam, and if it was, I hope you'll share it with others as well as those watching it. And if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, I hope you'll do that and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when our next video comes out. And if you have a question you'd like me to answer in the future, please email me at RabbiEricT@britam.org. Thank you and shalom.